What's my mother name?
What's up, guys? KW175 back with another Pokemon Duel video, finally. I should have had several videos up by now, but I wasn't able to export them. I was having a ton of trouble with iMovie and pretty much had to delete a bunch of old videos, iMovie, re-download it, and I think I may have got it fixed. Hopefully, if not, you're not gonna see this video, and you're probably gonna see a pretty angry tweet. But we have a Fire Gym Cup gonna be going to the 17th 79 UTC, and it's just another Groudon. Which, if you're newer to the game, especially if you have the Primal Groudon, then it's gonna be a good gym for you, because that's a pretty nice setup. I didn't do a deck prep video. Generally, I do a deck prep for every gym. I know some of you guys depend on it, but nothing has really changed since the last Fire Gym Cup. So I'm going to go ahead and link down in the description if you want to check out a good Fire deck prep video, to get prepared for, best decks, counters, way to defend, just a way to kind of increase your win rate in this Fire Gym Cup. Go ahead, check out the description. Link will be in there, and hopefully that helps you guys come up with some decks. But basically, no, it says that there's not going to be any 4 MPs, but Entei is a 4 MP. So something you're definitely going to have to keep an eye out for. So we have the Entei, we have the Zoroark for the Switch, kind of like a, little bit of a DO strategy, I guess. Rush out with that Entei, switch with the Zoroark. No booster ticket. We do get some gems. And, they really need to start giving us more common cubes. I would love for them to give us, 15 to 30. Because, the games have been out for, 2 years? And, how many of you have chain level 10 common figures, outside of the ones that you can farm from the hotels? So, we get the Groudon here, 15 wins. And, with that Z move, you're going to be doing 260 damage. It is a 3 MP in the Gym Cup. So, it's not the worst figure, but definitely recommend running it if you have the Primal Groudon, but maybe not on its own. This is going to be the deck. I believe this is the same exact deck as I ran in the last Fire Gym Cup. We were able to get the 11-win Invincible trophy. Win rate was pretty insane. Heat Rotom for that -30. We have the Charizard. Now that it's a 2 MP out the gate, 3 MP in the gym, go into the Mega Charizard Y, can soar over figures, level 5, has that Z move. It's not going to be super strong, but burns everything in a straight line. And you have the water types that's going to be able to confuse Pokemon within 2 steps of the battle opponent. So essentially 3 steps from your position. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the new achievement rewards. I believe we got all the way up to, let's see, 171. I know that's a mask that I really want to get. Yeah, that's probably the mask I'm most excited for, but I'm still, I got a little ways to go. I've been missing some trophies over the last couple of gyms. 189, that's the new mask that they just added. Not a big fan. 186 is the hair. Maybe 183, but I think we've seen that before. But let's go ahead. We're going to jump into the first matchup. And I had several videos going over my thoughts and opinions on the Z moves and the new update with the boosters being removed and everything. So I'm not going to be able to cover all that in the video. But if you guys want to hear, more on my thoughts and opinions on the current state of the game, let me know down in the comments. And I'll go ahead. I'll make another video kind of talking about everything. But we're running a scoop up. We have the swap spot. We have our mega plates. We have double max revive. And we have the flame sphere to prevent ourselves from getting burned, essentially. So we're going to go ahead and, start off with that Blaziken. Take that entry point. Mega Blaze is such a threat. You have to defend pretty well against it. So I'm going to go ahead and come out from the left side here with our Heat Rotom, giving us our -30 up against other fire types. And then that's what's great about Arcanine, being able to come off the bench through other fire type Pokemon. Here comes Primal Kyogre, and we're gonna get the dodge. I'm good with that. Zoroark, if you want to hit dodge all day, I'm good with that. Cross counter in dodge, we're definitely gonna take that. And man, 181, and the fact that it has a Z move that's gonna do 362 damage, it negates blue. These Z moves are pretty insane. I'm not sure how I feel about them. I like the utility, I like the effects. it's nice that you kind of get rewarded for bad RNG, because if you attack, you get a miss and you get knocked out all in one turn. Like, that's pretty much the biggest boost you can get, especially if you advance offensively on their back two lines here, where you can see like my Blaziken and my Entei and my Zoroark are on their side of the board, the back two lines. So supposedly you get a boost. I don't see a huge one. Oh, and we get the quick attack into the Origin Pulse. They're going to respin and they get the Hydro Pump. So I'm like, okay, Zoroark, you know, like Rico always says, best gold attacker in the game, but Zoroark has been doing okay for me over the last few games. Like, I played a few matches in the Orbiter Hall. I was going to upload those, but I just decided, like, the gym is actually here. So I'm sure you guys want to see, like, matches from the actual Gym Cup. So we're going to go ahead and get this Charizard back out. And I'm like, okay, you know what? We're going to be able to go Mega Charizard Y. And I'm like, okay, if I don't attack something, I can get surrounded. And I'm like, let's see if he takes it, and he gets baited. He takes the bait, baited, because we have that Blaziken ready to go Mega Blaziken, and just going to be able to go right through that Keldeo, burn him, and take the gold. So, you know, RNG, bless, good game. I'm sure, you know, they're not going to make that mistake throughout the Gym Cup. So that was our very first matchup. So it's better to learn those, you know, learn that mistake early in the gym before you get on like a nice winning streak and fall for something like that. So our next opponent going to be going up against Date, who is pretty active in most streams, seen in Rico's stream, Fodder's Discord. So pretty familiar name. I'm sure you guys know who Date is. So let's kind of see how this match unfolds. I'm going to double chance here. Go after this Lampent. Searing Shot, we're going to be able to burn them. I want that gold, and we get Searing Shot again. Like, come on. The smallest attack on the wheel, double chance, land it both times. So they're threatening game. We don't have Gold Block, but we have Scoop Up. So I'm going to be able to Scoop Up, cover the goal, and if for some reason Date wanted to go in and attack, we can switch with Zoroark, and if we get knocked out, we can retake the goal. We have double max survive, so we definitely had plenty of backup to be aggressive, but now we're in a pretty tough position. We're in a tough position. Now, we're able to get that knockout, but both of our entry points are locked down. We don't have a long throw, so I'm going to kind of back up with our Arcanine here and try to see if I can get my Z move filled before Date. We're going to get knocked out there. Really no bad roll for him. You know, if he got knocked out, he gets his another Pokemon back, and you know, if he knocks us out, and he does, then it's going to be good for him. So he's going to go ahead and play that Flame Energy. Doesn't want to become burned anymore. Wants to protect that Heat Rotom, which is very smart because it's equal right now. Like, if you're running a Fire deck and you're not running a Heat Rotom, and you go up against a deck that has a Heat Rotom, you're in a world of trouble. Like, you're going to have to get some serious RNG, like super lucky. So that's why I always throw the Heat Rotom in there, because it's just too painful to go up against the deck that has one without using it. So we have our Z move ready to go. I'm going to backtrack. I'm going to attack this Chandelure. As long as it doesn't hit that purple, we're going to be able to get the knockout, and we do. 260 damage, dropping the 230 because of that Heat Rotom, and now we free up that entry point. So now, Date going to be able to come up with this Lampent on the Z move. And it's doing a decent amount of damage, 160 damage, dropping to 130. We drop to 100. We're going to get knocked out by Lampent. Arcanine getting knocked out by Lampent, insane. Like, that's this, you know, that's what Z moves add to the game. So it's nice for evolutions. It's nice for kind of coming through on some clutch knockouts to all but guarantee a knockout if you're not heavy purple. Look at this, 141 now on this evolved Chandelure, and it could be pretty good with a Marshadow. That's what I was thinking whenever I went up against this deck. I'm like, you know, with that Heat Rotom minus 30, it's a ghost type. Add a Marshadow, that's another minus 20, a minus 50. You know, even if it's not evolved, like, that's pretty insane. And they come in for the attack. Our Zoroark is going to come through for us, gets that cross counter. If we would have missed that roll, it would have been in some trouble. So I was hoping for that Cyclone kick. We're going to lose by 6 damage. Blaziken gets sent back to the PC. Date's going to go ahead and move back up with that Chandelure. I'm going to come right back out with this Arcanine. We're going to have to get lucky with this rotom. Got to be able to knock out this Arcanine with that 150. We get the discharge. I'm like, come on. Come on. Like, we just can't get the rolls. And, you know, I put myself in a, you know, more dire position just because of that initial rush, kind of that push with the double chance. Like, I felt like it was, the odds were good. It just didn't work out. And so I was kind of under fire. My entry points were locked down. Z-Move is kind of able to bail us out, open one up for just like a turn. But Zorik's not even able to get that final knockout, even though the game was lost. So GG to Date, able to get the win on us. And yeah, so we won one, then we lost one. So that was our second matchup. This is going to be our third matchup in the Gym Cup. And if you guys are enjoying this video and you're happy to finally see another video with some gameplay from your boy K-Dub, go ahead, leave a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are interested in seeing moving forward. Again, if you guys want to hear my thoughts and opinions on like some of these major changes that the game has had, I'll try to kind of pepper them in maybe throughout this video and other videos. But if you just want to see a video dedicated to the state of the game, let me know in the comments. I'll definitely try to make that video for you guys. Cross counter is going to go off, so we're not going to be able to lose to that jet kick cheese. So wasn't too worried about it. Wasn't too worried. So now we're going to go ahead and press up with this Entei, going up against a Japanese player by the looks of it, Popplio. Popplio is a pretty awesome figure to use Z-moves on, because it negates blue with the Z-move and it negates purple with its ability. So there's like no way to protect against the Z-move. The only thing is it's just not a huge amount of damage, but it's still enough to get the job done and evolve into Brion. So we're going to go ahead and burn that chicken, the little chicken combustion, and just hoping that I don't land my miss. Popplio gets the knockout. Going to be able to evolve into the Brion if they want to, but they choose not to. They choose not to evolve it, which, could be smart. There's a decent amount of purple on my deck, and they got this Rotom coming out. And, oh my, like one of the Orbiter Hall matchups, maybe I'll show you guys that later, not in this video, but this Rotom was a god, knocking out my EX figures left and right. It was just, they used them as a goalie, and I just could not knock it out. And then it kept paralyzing me. Then I'd have like a miss. Then I'd hit the miss. I'd get knocked out. It was insane. So frustrating. But we were able to win that in the end anyway. But that was a misclick. I wanted to show you guys this. Wash Rotom able to move through other figures because, if you become Wash Rotom, everybody turns, into water type. So he's able to kind of have that mobility. And I accidentally attacked, but I mean, we still had some odds. We just had to hit that 140, or we would have been surrounded. Then I double chance. Another misplay. Because I was going to jump over and attack that Vibrava, thinking that I had to, and I'm like, oh man, it's different than territoriality. It's the vibrating sound, so you just get stunned. So I already clicked on the plate. And I haven't been playing this game that much recently, as you guys know. I've been playing a lot of that Dragalia Lost, which is pretty fun. It's time consuming. It's just a huge grind. The game is fun, but it's super grindy, like you live to grind for materials in that game, outside of the new events and storylines and things like that. So a little bit rusty. Your boy K-Dub's a little bit rusty, so I got to try to get my my mojo back. And I should have played the Flame Sphere on my Rotom right there, because now their Mega Blaziken is going to be able to move through both of us, and now we're burned. Going to go in for the attack. They get that Wall Crusher. Now going to be able to knock out our Arcanine. So great play by the opponent here, which we're seeing things from their perspective, obviously. And so now we're going to go ahead and just kind of hope that the Jet Kick doesn't go off into our miss or our 50, and we do get the Sucker Punch. That Jet Kick is going to be able to beat us, and they can win. I'm like, please don't. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Because I'm like, come on, the odds are so low for them to be able to get the win with that Jet Kick. Plus, they have the Wall Crusher. I don't really want to lose that Heat Rotom, so now I just got to hope that my Arcanine doesn't miss or hit the purple, and we get the purple. I'm like, come on. But, again, we don't get punished. We're able to burn that Mega Blaziken, and now we're able to take that surround and get the knockout, alleviate that pressure like Oh, man. That was so close, guys. So close. And now they're going to, put that Vibrava in the middle. Pretty good play. Prevent us from taking the entry point. We're not able to attack. They come out with that Combuskin. We're going to be able to get that Cyclone Kick. Send them to the PC. We're not going to get weight, so now we're going to be able to take that entry point, but that Entei able to come through burned figures. So they're going to come out and attack. We get that fierce, or they get the fierce roar into our Sacred Fire. Now the thing is, we still have our Heat Rotom. So even if we're minus 10, they're minus 30. So essentially, yeah, we're still going to be able to win Sacred Fire v Sacred Fire. So pretty fortunate there to get that roll. Now, I considered going Mega Charizard Y here and surrounding wherever he decided to long throw, but he goes in this one spot we're not able to get him. Then I considered, capturing that Wash Rotom, but I'm like, you know what? We just got to hope that we don't hit purple. I'm going to come in for the attack. If we get this knockout, and we do, that's going to be a great position for us. So, Hydro Vortex. As long as we hit purple here, we're going to be in good shape, or we could get a few spins. Flashover is going to go off, which protects against that Z move. We're going to take that surround. Now, we just have to worry about that Jet Kick, or do we? They get the Jet Kick into the Cyclone Kick, but because of that Heat Rotom giving him a minus 30, it does no damage. So we're going to be able to take the goal for the win. Heat Rotom saving us from, that match going any further, lasting any longer. It was nice to be able to get that win. And I definitely give it to that Mega Charizard. Why? Because, come on. Blaziken just hitting the Cyclone Kick up against the Jet Kick. So, again, seeing things from our opponent's perspective, they have Mega Houndoom. They got a counter attack in there as well. Double Entei. So I'm going to go defensive. Bring that Heat Rotom out immediately. We want that minus 30. Now we have our Entei there because I want to save Arcanine for last so I can bring it off the bench through a Fire type. I also want to be offensive with our Charizard and our Blaziken because we can move through other figures with them. So sometimes I'll go defensive with that Charizard. Just kind of depends. So they kind of cucked themselves right here by covering up that goal. I mean, they could have, protected against that surround. We play that Flame Sphere. Now we're going to be able to move up, take that entry point. Now they have the double chance. They're going to go ahead and go up against our Charizard. So we switch out here. And the 50 would have been fine. Sucker Punch would have been good in this situation. I'm like, come on. Whew. Okay, they don't get the purple. Feels bad for them, but I'm pretty happy about it. We're going to be able to get that knockout. I'm going to move up, and we have a decent amount of pressure now. So they kind of have to go defensive with that Entei, and they're going to come in for the attack with this. Oh, my God. And we get the Sucker Punch now, which is going to allow them to evolve from the Growlithe into the Arcanine. Like, okay, not a big deal. Not a big deal. We're going to move up with this Charizard Y, or Charizard, potentially going Mega Charizard Y after we Max Survive. You get a little bit of extra backup here, because they do have that Z move available. But now they're going to Flame Sphere. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go Mega Charizard Y, and we're going to try to get a knockout on this Houndoom here. Like, really the only thing that I fear is getting that purple into the gold. I'm like, okay, let's go. And we get the spins we need. Look at that, 300 damage. Mega Charizard Y coming through, super clutch. But the opponent here does have the gold block, so it's not going to be game just yet. We're definitely going to double chance here because we have a lot of purple. They have a sizable gold here, and they get the Flare Blitz. I'm like, all we need is one spin. Let's go. And we get a miss. We broke rule number 2 of PokeFodder's unwritten rule book of Pokemon Duel. Never respin a double chance if the first spin is a win. Like, if you win the first spin, and I'm like, the miss is so small. Like, come on. What are the odds? Like, got greedy. We got greedy, and we got punished for it. So, feels bad, man. Feels real bad. So, I felt like we had 50-50 chance here of, hitting cross counter or not. We didn't get the cross counter. We do Night Days that Entei. So going to have a sizable miss. Now we're going to press forward with this Arcanine, and they're going to protect. They're going to protect. So I'm going to move over. I'm not going to attack because I don't want to get that weight just yet. Now we have the Z move available. So that's what I was waiting for. So I'm going to move in. Just hope that this Arcanine doesn't hit the purple. Let's go. 260 damage. Just going to smack that opponent to the PC. And if you guys notice there, our Blaziken kind of lit up there. So you can definitely burn your own figures with that Z move. Can't check them from this side of the board. But chain level 10, level 9. Need to get it to a level 10. Night Days. Like this is why Zoroark is so good. Especially with that Night Days. Like everybody thinks if Zoroark doesn't land cross counter, it's bad. But I mean, we have about 28 segments of our wheel that could lose to that Entei if it did have its attack, even more with that XP. But Night Days is going to come through clutch. Zoroark saving us from the grave. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind, guys. And, you do get a decent amount of knockouts with that Sucker Punch as well. So Zoroark is pretty good. It's just generally we're putting them up against, heavy damage. So generally anything outside of the cross counter feels like a bad roll, but I mean there's a lot of good rolls for Zoroark, and that Night Days, it can definitely come through for you late game. So that just goes to show you the type of situation that Night Days can give you late game. So the bot, this is a bot. This is going to be our final matchup. Jordan, 2-minute wait bot. Yeah, K-Dub, even in the gym playing bots, like come on. But they just come out with the Blaziken, allowing us to get that surround. So definitely AI style moves. Like, I don't get it. And then I played this matchup so horribly. Like, I just had to show you guys this. It's pretty insane matchup, but I played pretty bad. This was one of the last matchups that I played. It was super late, so like I was getting a little bit tired, but still, I think it also comes with not playing this game as much, so I'm a little bit rusty. I'm gonna have to try to get back into the groove of things. So I should have played the Flame Sphere instead of like moving up the Charizard in the middle there. I had to move back. I could have brought another figure. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're gonna be able to get the knockout up against that Primal Kyogre. Now kind of transforming back to the EX Kyogre, and yeah, Jordan, the 2-minute wait bot is going to max survive. There's a surround set up on our Blaziken. I don't even see it. And I'm like, oh my god, come on. So I got to backtrack with this Arcanine. And Jordan's Z move is filling up quicker than mine. I'm going to go Mega Charizard Y. We can capture this Kyogre here. So that's what I'm going to do. If you get a surround with the Mega Charizard Y, you're going to be able to capture the surrounded Pokemon. Z move is going to go off, and like, we cannot survive this. There's no way to survive. What am I left to do? I have to double chance with our Arcanine, and it's a chain level 10 too. So we get lucky. Like, if they landed gold, we would have been done for. Oh, you know what? No, we're getting that additional damage, that plus 10 from the Mega Charizard Y. So I didn't even think about that at the time. But either way, we get pretty lucky. They have a surround set up. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go in for the attack here. Just got to hope that Zoro doesn't land the cross counter. I'm like, please, let's go. Like, that's pretty lucky we're getting bailed out. But we're still in a tough situation because Jordan here has Gold Block. So I can only imagine that they're going to Gold Block with that Incineroar. And they do. So the AI, outside of like letting themselves get surrounded, making pretty decent plays. So we got to come out with the Blaziken. I felt like that was better odds. And we get the Cyclone Kick bailed out. K-Dub making some of the worst plays in his Pokemon Duel career. And RNG is kind of bailing me out right now. But I felt like we were kind of making the optimal decisions here, with being like one turn away from losing. I didn't really do the math. I could kind of go back and check, but to be honest, I just don't really feel like doing it. We're going to be able to get that surround, so don't really get that. Then they long throw to take the surround. So I'm like, okay, we're going to swing back around we've bailed ourselves out of just putting ourselves in the bad situation that we were in, just out of pure placement, just horrible placement. And this was definitely my final game. Like, I'm just like, oh my god. Like, you know, generally you don't get that lucky that many times in a row. And the Cyclone Kick is going to be able to get the knockout on that Zoroark. I thought they were going to come in for the Z-move attack, and I'm like, all we got to do is hit Cyclone Kick, but the AI changed its mind, and that's why, because they knew. They're like, no, he's going to get the Cyclone Kick. And every time they kind of queue up with that Z-move, but again, they consider that Cyclone Kick. So I'm going to go ahead and attack, hope to get it. We get the Jet Kick into the Fierce Roar. So we're going to be able to get that knockout. Then Jet Kick over and take the surround on the Arcanine. Like that's beautiful. Like, that's how good Jet Kick is. It's a weak attack, yes. The Jet Kick is super good. Like, one of the best golds in the game. It's just weak, you know. It needs to be a little bit stronger, but it's weak for a reason because it's so good. So, that Inferno coming out, gonna just knock us out. We were threatening game with that Mega Blaziken. So, you know, it feels bad we didn't get that Cyclone Kick. So then, this is kind of a dumb play too. Because, like, I didn't know if they were going to block us off, like when you're going up against the bot. You think that it's going to play stupid, but then it doesn't. So then I have to backtrack, which I should have just went up initially. I have the swap spot, so I could have won with the swap spot, but they block us with the Kyogre. So they are seeing some of the cheese strategies. They are seeing some of the strategies. So we have a full Z-move gauge. I'm going to get rid of this Incineroar, as long as it doesn't hit purple, and it doesn't. So we get that knockout. Now, we're going to be able to threaten that entry point. We have our Zoroark kind of threatening that other entry point. Zoroark versus Zoroark. They're going to get the Sucker Punch. So, here, I'm not really sure what I want to do. But I'm like, okay, let me try this out. Without really thinking too much into it. I just was like, I don't know. I can kind of threaten game here. They can't surround me because then I can take the game with Arcanine. So then I just retake the entry point, which is really dumb. Because they have their Z-move available, and now they're going to be able to come out. I need purple to survive. Not gonna come through clutch like that one matchup where the opponent Z-moved and we got that searing shot. So they're going to be able to knock out that Arcanine. You know, I could have went in for the attack up against that Kyogre. I mean, we had decent odds with, you know, having so much gold and such a huge purple. So now I'm going to go after this Kyogre, and we're going to Night Daze them, but they don't get knocked out, and they have a scoop up. Of course, like, you know, this bot just comes fully equipped, and yeah, that feels pretty bad, but they don't cover our entry point. Like, why wouldn't you cover the entry point there? Like, I don't really get that. Now they're going to play the Flame Energy, so I'm going to move up with this Blaziken. And I'm like, okay, all I got to do is get rid of this Kyogre, and we should be able to win. And we're going to be able to get enough spins to knock out their Blaziken. We don't get burned because of the Flame Sphere, so now we're going to be able to move up. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all we got to do is win like 2 more rolls, and they get the suplex. I'm like, please be dumb. Nope. They play it right. They played it right. We've already exhausted our Mega Charizard. Why? But, we're going to go in for the Z-move here. Look at that. Negating the blue plus the Night Daze. Like, I'm telling you guys, Night Daze is a good move. It's just, like, when you really need to get the cross counter or you're going to lose, like, yeah, it feels like a bad roll. But, you know, late game, you know, just making plays if you happen to get it. And, you know, it's good to have them on the goal with that Night Daze for late game. So, they get the clutch roll there. We had a surround set up. And they get the suplex. And then I make another horrible play. They have a Z move available, and we got to get the purple here, but no, we're going to get knocked out. This is not going to be good. Like, we're going to have to get lucky again. Our Heat Rotom has to get this 150 into anything but the purple, and we are going to come through again. Another super clutch lucky roll. So now they're going to back up with that Zoroark. So I'm going to go in for the attack. We get the Cyclone Kick into the suplex. I'm like, come on, Blaziken. All we need is to get another Cyclone Kick. They're going to attack, and we get the Cyclone Kick into the cross counter. And that's going to be GG to Jordan. Like, I had 9 seconds left. The bot had about a minute, so, like, made horrible plays, got bailed out, and I'm like, I'm done for the night. But, yo, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was entertaining. If it was, definitely leave a like. Subscribe if you happen to be new. Hit that notification bell so you're always notified when I upload. Also, follow me on Twitter at KW175. I'm going to be doing a short giveaway. If you guys see me in the gym and you beat me, take a screenshot, tweet me, and you'll be entered to win. So, and until the next one, later, guys.